Hi, my name's RSanchezMidtermVideo. So the course material that I would see myself using in my classroom is from the article We Want to Work with Our Friends by Diane Kakari, I think. I hope that's how you pronounce it. The part that I got the most out of that article was about gardeners' intelligences. That's something that I could really see using in my classroom because when I was in third grade, that's when I started learning about the different intelligences, and when I realized that I wasn't having trouble keeping up with my friends because I wasn't as smart as them. It was just that I learned differently than the way our teachers had been teaching us up until third grade. That's when I learned that I'm more of a visual learner, and with a teacher just explaining things out with her voice was not enough for me to be able to understand or to be able to do my best work. In my classroom, what I think I would be able to do to support my students with that is I would start the beginning of the year with an intelligence chart. I feel like I would spend a lot of time with a chart and showing all the intelligences at the beginning of the year and explaining them all to my students so they could see themselves on the chart and understand, put themselves into a category or figure out which intelligences were their strengths and which ones were their weaknesses. I want my students to understand how they learn. So even if they don't feel like they fit into one category, they can see which ones are their strengths and which ones they should be given. When they're given an assignment, I feel like they should be able to work that assignment into their best intelligence. So if they're given an assignment to do a project, I feel like they should have, my students at least, should have the freedom to make the assignment fit their intelligence. So if they're a visual learner like I am, I like to do PowerPoints or poster boards or things that I can actually see an end result with. But if there are students who are better at speaking, they can do videos, or students who are better at speaking or writing, they can write papers. Papers are not my strong suit because I am so much more of a visual learner that I like to see things versus just the writing part. I also want my students to be able to learn how to use more intelligences. So even if visual is their strong suit, I want them to be able to understand that writing is a weakness, but that they know they can put more effort into it in order to be able to use all of the intelligences to where they're not only using their strong suit all the time. I want them to also be able to support their classmates. So I think knowing a project is coming up that is a visual assignment, they can support their classmates, their partners, or their friends who either visual is their strong intelligence, or if it's not, they can support each other in their intelligences. So that's how I would implement it in my classroom. I feel like at the beginning of the year, we could have a chart. We could talk about the intelligences. I could even teach something and teach a lesson and explain to them, I'm going to teach this to the auditory learners, and just use my voice to explain the entire lesson. And the ones who feel really good about it would understand that's why they're better at, or that's why like hearing is their strongest intelligence, because they can hear it and understand it. And then I could teach a lesson with a visual board, and the ones who understand it the best, they realize that visual is their strong suit because they can see it and they understand it. We can use music for lessons. That way the ones who are musically inclined, or music helps them learn. Any lesson can be worked on with numbers, to where the ones who math is their strong suit, they can use that. I feel like that's the best way to implement it into my classroom, is to have that chart at the beginning of the year, talk about it. They can know their strong suits and know their weaknesses. And when I was in third grade and we did that in my third grade class, I feel like that was the best thing that ever happened to my education, because from then all the way now into college, I know that visual is my strong intelligence, and I am able to understand that and make things work to where I can always do my best with my best intelligence and work harder in the other ones so I can always do my best. Thanks.